Today we are going to talk about a group cruise that is going with Mythbusters. I think it's important to talk about that. I've got lots of updates for you from Princess, including another phone number to try. Thought that might be a little helpful for you, as well as some things that I think we need to talk about as cruise lines start to add charges for more things that they never charged for before. I'm going to also tell you about my flight home from Boston last night and some things that it made me think about for the next flight that I'll be taking for a cruise, which will be the middle of September. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Monday. It is August 14th of 2023, and I want to start off by inviting you to subscribe to our channel. Will you please subscribe? We need to have you here with us, and I think that we need to be here together every day so that we can talk about what's going on, not only in cruising, but in traveling and in destinations. So many things to think about, as well as being prepared to go when the time comes. Also, together, I think that our future is very bright. A lot of opportunities out there, and we want to stay up to date on them. The other thing is, would you please give this video a thumbs up? That actually really helps our channel a lot. So thank you very much. Now, this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to be doing our live. We're going to talk all about cruising, destinations. I've got a lot on my mind to tell you about, so come and join us, bring your questions, and get ready to have a lot of fun. So we will see you then. The very first thing that I want to talk to you about today is the group, the cruise that Princess is doing with Mythbusters Adam Savage. It's going to sail on November 25th of 2023, so this year. It's just a quick 4-night cruise, round trip out of Los Angeles. So if you have got those days open starting November 25th, I think you might want to think about it. With Adam Savage on board, I've noticed that on social media, he has been posting a lot of updates, talking about the things that he's going to be doing and showing while he is on the ship. They're going to have meet and greets. They're going to be having opportunities that you can eat dinner with him, a special ship tour where he's going to be showing a lot of things on board the ship that you can join in. He's going to be speaking, just a lot of things. If you really enjoy him and the Mythbusters show, I think that you would really enjoy that. And because I really do think that people are going to enjoy that have that time open, I went ahead and got some group space available. Gordon and I are not going to go on that right then. We can't. But I thought I would grab it so that if we have any Let's Go family members who want to go, they can go ahead and do it. Now, because it sails so soon, be thinking if you want to go, because I can't hold group space forever. No one can. And so I just wanted to let you know about that, though. If you want to, send me an email. We over on our website, letsgotraveltips.com, we have a little form that you can fill out to ask information on any cruise you want. I'm slightly behind on that after spending a week there in Boston visiting our family, but I'll get caught up hopefully by the end of tonight. But also, just letsgotraveltips@gmail.com is a really good way to get a hold of me, and I'll send you the information that way as well. So look forward to hearing from you about that. We have also been talking a lot about Princess from the Aspect. I did that video that went up on Saturday to show you, and so that we really could discuss what we really like about the perks that Princess offers for their loyalty program. There are other perks that they offer, but they're not tied to loyalty, like the military onboard credit, the shareholder onboard credit. Those are amazing perks, but they are not tied to your status or how many times you have sailed with Princess. And so those are available to everybody. And so if you missed that video, go ahead and watch it, because you don't want to miss out on something that you should be getting as you're sailing with Princess and you reach certain loyalty levels. But along with that, there was the Captain Circle phone number. And I love that someone posted over on Facebook that they had called Princess and asked about it. And I too have done that. And nobody knew. Well, Eric posted another number that he calls. So I called that number. And sure enough, they do pick up. It is Princess Cruise Lines. It seems like it is really a very I don't want to say watered down, but you can ask, like, if you're having trouble logging in. You can ask if you've got a gift card, a Princess gift card, and you want to know what balance is left, or if you want to make a payment on a cruise using your gift card. If you want to do that, they can help you with that. And then you can push number 2 for Captain Circle. So give it a whirl. They were not able to answer the question that I had today, but I am still, my phone is on hold. I am at 3 hours and 50 minutes of being on hold. So if you notice a chop in my video, it means they finally picked up. So those wait times are really long right now. They're always long on Princess, just a heads up. I don't know that they're always quite this long though. So yeah, try that phone number. It is 1-800-788-1699. So 1-800-788-1699. And I don't know that really that is the official Captain Circle phone number, but it's a phone number to try to call if you need some help, and they have long wait times. We've got a quick 2 updates that I want to share with you from 2 different Princess ships, and it is because I feel like these people can use our prayers and to let us know a little bit about how things are handled. So first of all, we've got a Let's Go family member on the Crown Princess right now, and he was kind enough, Carrie, to send me an email late last night, early this morning, letting me know that they had a medical emergency on board the Crown Princess that did require an emergency evacuation. That's when the helicopter comes and lands on the ship and picks up the sick passenger. And so he said that in association with that, they ended up having to evacuate some cabins that were right by where the helicopter was supposed to land. They asked people to please not be out on their balconies to watch or anything like that. I'm sure it's just to give privacy to the people who are having to be evacuated, or the person. So I figured that they could use our prayers, and so indeed Gordon and I's thoughts and prayers are with them, and I hope that we do wish them a speedy recovery. Also, we talked about the Emerald Princess a lot last week because she's been sealing in the Hawaiian Islands. Everything that has gone on with those fires on Maui, and oh my goodness, those people are still in our thoughts and prayers, and I hope they're in yours as they are going through so much there. But as we talked about, the Emerald Princess ended up calling in Kona rather than over in Lahaina on Maui. Well, they had a man overboard as well. A gentleman went overboard, and they have not recovered him thus far. And so once again, his family, I'm sure, can use our thoughts and prayers. Something really important that I think we need to talk about more and more here on our channel and with all of you is the trend that I think we are going to see more and more as these cruise lines start charging for things that they never charged for before. As prices are not only going up, but also the things that they charge for, that range is getting broader and broader. So a couple of things to note. First of all, over on the East Coast and here in the United States, American Cruise Lines is starting to introduce these ships that they are calling Coastal Cats. They're going to have 11 of them in all, and their first one is just been introduced. It's called the American Eagle, and she is going to be doing sailings round trip out of Boston there on the eastern seaboard. They've got a Cape Codder itinerary, which I thought sounded like a lot of fun. It's going to end up going to 8 different destinations in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, including Gloucester, Newport, Martha's Vineyard, and New Bedford. And then they're also going to have a Maine Coast and Harbors cruise. And to me, and these ships just hold 109 guests, so it is a much smaller ship, but it will be a much more personalized experience on board, as well as you get to go to all these places that the large cruise ships just don't go to. Some of them go, of course, to Newport, Rhode Island, but a lot of the large cruise lines, they don't go to Martha's Vineyard. They don't go to, like with the Cape Codder, if any of them go to Cape Cod, some of the small harbors in Maine, they just don't go there. So this really opens up a lot of opportunity. I looked up how much they cost, and they're not as expensive as I suspected they might be. So this is a really good opportunity to do something a little bit different if you want to try new things. Gordon and I are going to really start trying harder to try new things. Sometimes I think we get in a rut, even if we're loving the rut that we're in, we need to try new things. And so this is on my radar, and I thought it should maybe be on your radar as well. Like I said, in the end, they're going to have 11 of these ships. So we are really going to have a lot of options. It'll be great for in the summertime. It'll be great for when the leaves are turning. I think that there's so many options with this, and I look forward to hearing more from American Cruise Lines about this. Another thing that I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of is people who have been cruising, like with your Princess, your Celebrity, taking a much closer look at some of the luxury cruise lines. Now, Silver Seas, which is an ultra luxury cruise line, their Silver Nova just is departing today, August 14th, out of Venice, and they are going to be sailing there in the Adriatic. How glorious is that? Sailing in the Adriatic there. They're going to go visit ports in Croatia and Montenegro, and she's going to continue sailing there, and then in November she will move over and start sailing in the Caribbean. So that's another really swell option. And I would suggest, if you missed my video where I went through all of the things that I think you really need to think about with the new changes that Princess introduced with their Plus package and their Premier package. I'm not talking about beverage packages. I'm talking about the actual Plus package and the actual Premier package. There's a lot of confusion about the difference. The beverage packages only include the beverages, okay? The Plus packages and the Premier package include all of the other things that they've got. Well, when I did that video to try to help people just itemize and think about the things that they actually want to use to decide if those packages are a good idea for them, I feel like we can do that exact same thing in looking at these luxury cruise lines. Because as we look at these cruise lines, practically all, if not all of the excursions are included. If they definitely several excursions to choose from in every port. Every once in a while you'll see an excursion that costs, that's a whole different thing, but magnificent excursions included in port. The fabulous dining is included, the wine, all of these things that we end up paying more for when we are on a cruise is just all included, like the gratuities are included. So it's a whole different way of looking at cruising, but really when you start adding everything up, yep, some cruise lines are a lot more and the experience is a lot more as well. But at the same time, some of them are not so much more than what you are already paying for the cruise you're on. And so if you have a cruise line that you would like me to do a cost analysis for and talk to you about that goes to some of the places that, like your Princess, your Celebrity, your Norwegian, your Royal Caribbean go to, I would be delighted to do that and talk about it one day. So put those cruise lines down below, what you're interested in, okay? Now, I want to tell you about my flight last night because it has changed my thinking. So here's the whole big story. So first of all, the cruise that I'm thinking about and trying to decide what to do is the one that we're going on the middle of September out of New York. So we can fly into New York. We've got a hotel, a Hilton hotel right close to the airport, close to JFK there, and I might end up going by myself. So I've had the thought lately, I thought to myself, I could take the red eye and just get there at 6 in the morning, hang out in the airport for a little bit, take the Princess transfer and be out to the ship. And then not only would I not have the expense of the hotel, but even more importantly, then I don't have to go do that by myself. I can just fly in and go from there. And so that's what we had been trying to decide if we were going to change the flight and do. Well, last night I was flying home from Boston, and here is a really unique thing that happened. So often we are used to the fact, like my flight was an hour and a half, 2 hours late landing in Salt Lake City. So, and it was a direct flight, okay, from Boston. And usually when we are that late, it is due to weather or like a mechanical issue because, something happened. They had to get another part, fix it, all of these things. Well, let me tell you what happened to us. So we boarded on time. We're on the flight. Everything is going fine. And the captain comes over the loudspeaker and says, There's a few storms here and there, and so we might have to go around them a little bit. So we are waiting to see, we're figuring out if we've got enough gas on the plane to be able to go around those storms, or if we need to get more gas on board. So we sit there for like 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes, while they figure that out. He comes back on after a while and says, we have enough gas. And which surely made me a little bit nervous. I'm thinking, do we not always pack enough gas in case something unexpected comes up that we could go around? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we finally pull away from the gate and go out on the runway. We drive along the runway and get in line, I guess. I think we were in line to take off. And so we are out on the runway for about a half an hour. And the captain comes back on the speaker and says, you know what? Because we've had to wait on the runway for a half an hour, we don't have enough gas now to go. We have to go back to the gate and get some more gas, if you can believe it. So we had to go back to the gate and get some more gas. Of course, that took a long time. And so finally, by the time we went and took off and got here, we were really late. So there's a few things that come to my mind about this. Number one, don't plan. If you are flying late into Salt Lake City, late at night, 8 out of the 10 times that we fly in, and we clearly fly a little more often now, and now even more often going to visit family, you know what? There are so many smaller airports here in the western United States that people fly to. Like, just plan that you might not make your flight. We get in here late so often, and I feel really bad. We remain seated while the people who have those flights booked get off the plane and try to catch them. A lot of people were too late. A lot of flights were missed last night. The other thing that I want you to think about with this is when you go on a cruise, I have always talked to you about flying in the day before. Definitely fly in the day before. You never know what's going to happen. Here, it was just incompetence. They were unable to figure out the amount of gas that we needed and plan it out. I have been flying out of Boston since 2005. And as we sat there and I was thinking, I can't believe they did this, I calculated, and I have flown out of there in, since 2005, our son has lived there, been in school there. I've flown out at least 75 times in the times that we have, at least. That's conservative. And I know that whenever you fly out of Boston, it's a long wait because it is such a busy airport. And so my bottom line is, I'm going to fly in the night before into New York City, into the JFK. I'm going to go to the hotel, just because it's now even more impressed on my mind that it's not just weather that can hold us up. It's not just mechanical issues. It can be people that can't figure out gas and can't plan. And I don't mean that against anybody. I don't know who made the decision and said you have enough gas, you don't have enough gas. I don't know who did that. So I'm not throwing rocks at the pilot at all. But I am saying, really be wise and be aware of how things happen. Don't think that everything will go flawlessly, because sometimes it does, and that is splendid, but so often it doesn't. And you don't want to miss your cruise, you don't want to miss your concert, you don't want to miss whatever the thing is that you were flying in for. So I just thought I would share that experience with you a little bit. On top of it, it was just one of those things. The other thing I'm wondering, does anybody know if they put secret shoppers on airlines anymore or on cruise lines? I know it sounds like I am really down on Delta, but the crew that we had on board last night, I'm so glad there was not an emergency, because between the group of them, there was, I don't know what would have happened if we would have had an emergency. And that's not just with me looking at people and making my guess. That's with what they showed throughout the flight. And so I really think that cruise lines and airlines, everybody needs to go back to the thing of putting your secret shopper on. Put somebody on board a flight. Put somebody on board a cruise that the crew doesn't know who is, that they are just your normal seeming passenger that can report back how things are going. They pay attention, and then you're able to make improvements based on their input. So that's what I had to share with you today. Luckily, I didn't miss anything. It was just a little bit late getting back, and everything was just fine. But wanted to bring you up to date on that and just some ways to think about flights. I know that it costs extra. The hotel there next to JFK is $350. I'm going to get there late the night before the cruise, and then get up early the next morning and go to the ship. So it's just the way things are. I really appreciate you all being here with me. Share your experiences down below, because together we really, like I said earlier when I invited you to please subscribe, together we have so much, and I really look forward to hearing from you. I read all of your comments, and I'll see you tonight. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.